name is Stephen Karume, and this is Alpha Containers East Africa Limited. I'm a co-founder and one of the directors in charge of all fabrication works. We normally specialize in retail and wholesale sales of containers, shipping containers, hire. We hire out to people who would not want probably to buy the container off at one set. We also add value to shipping containers. As you can see, the containers we have here are used. And from the shipping line point of view, they are no longer usable and they are no longer seaworthy, but they remain to be cargo worthy. So we import cargo worthy containers, add value, and probably they could be offices, they could be houses, they could be commercial shops, they could be used for storage. Whatever, anything that the client comes up with, we are able to fabricate and make the container usable to the year perspective. And I will start with the simplest. The simplest is commercial shops. What we normally do on these is that we would do either roller shutter doors on them, partitions, electric wiring, and spray painting. Basically, a 20-foot would produce 3 shops with dimensions of 8 feet wide and 6.7 in length. 40 feet on the other side would produce 5 shops, sometimes 6. When it is in 5 shops, one shop is usually 8 feet by 8 feet. When it's 6 shops, it will be 8 feet wide and the length will be 6.7, similarly to the dimensions of the 20 feet single shop. That is on the shop. The shop can either have roller shutter doors or cutout doors. What cutout doors means is that the material that we remove from the container is the same material that we convert and fabricate and make it into a door. It could either be a single leaf, it could be a double leaf, or it could be 3 foldable leaves. The shop will come with either cutouts, partitions, or black sheet, stroke plain sheet partitions. They will also come with roller shutter doors, or as I said, cutout doors, and we'll have spray painted the container for you. Meaning, by the time the container is leaving our workshop, it is ready for use, and it is just like a plug in for use. You will get it ready from here. You just place on the position where we are going to use it, and then you are able to continue with the business. That is for the shops. For the offices, 20 feet would produce as spacious 1-room office, 2-room office, or 3-room offices as the client may need. But basically, the most ideal is one room or two rooms. What we normally do in an office is that we would want to make it look as modern and as conventional as any other office that you know. So we will do complete insulation to make sure that the internal room temperature is at the room temperature. We'll also do ceramic tiling such that under the floor, just like any other office you know of. We normally do electrical wiring with nice downlighters, enough outlet sockets for the usage by the occupants of the office. And basically, when you are in an office, a container office, and in another office, another brick and mortar office, when you are left in one office of a container, and another person, and at the same point you are taken to another office blindfolded, and then you are in another brick and mortar office, you are not able to tell the difference from inside. You only know that you are in a container office when you move out or when you are getting in. Basically, every feature that is inside an office, a conventional office, you are able to make sure that it's also captured in the container office. We also do houses. And in houses, there is a wide range of sizes, starting from a bed sitter. I'll show you a sample. Going to 1 bedroom, going to 2 bedrooms, going to 3 bedrooms, going to 4 bedrooms, either mansionette or with upper floors. And what basically happens is that a bed sitter will be done in 120 foot. conventionally, with a washroom, with a small kitchenette, and with the rest of the area being the bed area. The bed area will have a wardrobe, just like a conventional bed sitter that you know of. That is in a 20 foot. We can also do the same in two of them in 140 feet, especially for people who are in construction industry and they would want to house the staff at site, probably for business. For those people who would like to rent out such, we normally do 2 of such in 140 foot or 1 unit in 120 foot. That is for a bed sitter. And then we do 1 bedroom. 1 bedroom will be done in 140 feet container. Basically, it will have a sitting area, a kitchenette again, a washroom, and a bedroom, a spacious bedroom, enough to probably to get to house a 6x6 bed and still have a wardrobe and have some room to play around with. Then from there we are able to do 2 bedroom houses. We can also do it in one in 140 feet container. But what normally happen is that the sitting area is usually a bit squeezed. But now, depending on the client, if that works for them, we do that for them. We can also, but the most conventional 2 bedroom houses is normally done using 140 feet container and a 120 feet container. We combine them together. We open them up. We combine the 2 containers together, open them up, such that we can have a wider hall area, and then we are able to partition depending on the client's need, with a lot of flexibility, as opposed to doing it in a single container. We can also do that in 2x40 feet container, still brought together parallel to one another, opened up to get rid of the internal partition of the containers. And then we have one big hall of 16 feet wide and 40 feet length, because we realize one container is 8 feet in length, in width, and 40 feet in length. Now when we open up the 2 containers, it means we'll have double width. That is 16 feet, and the length will still be 40 feet. And then we have a big hall. We are able to partition it into whatever bedrooms that we want, but most ideally is usually 2 bedrooms. And we also do 3 bedroom houses. 3 bedroom houses will use 2 40 feet container in a space of 3 40 feet container. What I mean with that is that we'll have 1 40 feet container and another 40 feet container, the 2 containers separated with a distance equal to another container. Then the inner walls of the 2 containers are opened up completely and used to seal off the spaces left on the both sides and on the roof, such that we'll have one container. I said it's 8 feet width, 40 feet long. Now we'll have 8 feet of the container, 8 feet of space, 8 feet of a container, such that looking for on a finished product from outside, you will count 3 containers, but in the real sense there are 2 containers. Now we have a big hall of 24 feet by 40 feet, and then we are able to partition it the way we want into 3 bedrooms, and then obviously 1 bedroom, master bedroom, will be en suite. 2 bedrooms will share amenities, and we'll have another washroom for the visitors. And then obviously we will also have the kitchen, as we said earlier. We'll also have the sitting area, all cabinetry, all plumbing works, all electrical works, all painting, all finishing done to the customer's satisfaction. If you want to go on and on saying 4 bedroom, 5 bedrooms, it's about how many space, how much space the customer would want in total. Because if we have 3 bedroom, we're able to add another 20 feet, we make it 4 bedroom. We're able to add another 40 feet, probably make it 5 bedroom. It all depends with the customer. But I think the flexibility of the containers, we are able to do anything with them in terms of accommodation. Okay, everybody, when you talk of container house or container homes, everybody would think about babatis, and everybody would be worried about the temperatures. When it is too cold, the container is too cold at the same time. When it is too hot, it is unbearable. But we have a technology of bringing that temperature down to the room temperature, such that the actual temperature that you would get in a conventional house is the same temperature that you would get in a container. We normally do juboline insulation, that is styrofoam. We do a layer of styrofoam, which is a very good insulator, but the only disadvantage is that you cannot improve the way it looks like. It's a paper. So we just stick it with glue, and then we do gypsum as an extra layer of insulation, and that would help us to increase the aesthetic of the container, because with gypsum you're able to shape it up, you're able to do nice finishing, you're able to paint nicely, you're able to do any design that you would want. So we have two layers of insulation. We have styrofoam. You cannot improve the way it looks like, and that is why we do it beneath the gypsum. We have the gypsum 9mm and 12mm thickness. That is what we normally do on top of the styrofoam. And now with that, we do a nice lining of cornice, we do nice wiring, we do nice lightings, we do sockets where we need to do, and then we are able to minimize, we're able to minimize the heat that would be getting into a container, and we're able again to minimize the temperature to room temperature. Basically, there's no much concern about the clearance unless your site probably has runoff. That is the only time probably we could need some clearance. But what we normally do for foundation, we normally do concrete pillars at the edges of the container and at the middle line, such that probably it could have a clearance of 300 or 450, depending depending on the drainage of the area. But basically there is no specific requirement on how much you could clear the container. It's completely based on the site. It's a permanent house. This is a permanent house. It is built to last. It could be even 100 years. A container is built to last. And then if we're able to take care of the rust part of it, and we do anti-rust, we normally do primer coats, we normally do anti-rust painting. We're able to control anything that could be that could endanger the lifespan of the container. And the most dangerous part of it is rusting, and we're able to do that through the type of painting we normally do. So the container house is a permanent one. It's a permanent house, and if I can give you a scenario, several customers would come saying that we want a temporary house, probably for 5 years when we are constructing our main house. There are houses we did in 2012, 2013, 2014. They are still there. They've never built another one, because there is that notion that container houses are temporary. But once you are in one, you realize it's a permanent house, and there is absolutely no need of upgrading unless you want to get a bigger house or a different location. Like 40-foot container, as you can see, it's a very long one, and the truck itself, the self-mounted, the self-loading truck is also very long. The customer would go and estimate probably the distance based on his trucks and based on his small cars. And once you are there, you realize, kumbe, we can't access the site, or probably we can access with a lot of challenges. So to overcome that, once we secure a business, before we sign the contract on the delivery part of it, we would set our crane operators and transport manager just to assess the site and be sure that we are able to deliver the container. There's no need to take money for something that you cannot deliver. Advise the customer well in advance, even before they commit, so that you leave the options still open. Future prospect of this company is that we would want to join the president in actualizing the big four agenda in creating employment and manufacturing. As you can see, ours is purely in creating employment for the youths. As you can see, there are so many youths going around here. Everybody is making a living from this yard. And on the manufacturing part of it, we would want to make sure that we are competing with top brands, in terms of modular houses and in terms of container houses, such that every day we are able to improve. And we would want to see ourselves 5 years from here being probably able to employ 2,000, 3,000 people at a one go.